the intelligence tools are just places that structure data, right? The way you're searching is reactive. I heard something from this guy. I saw this house. Let me see what's going on next door, and then going house by house. That's not efficient at all. If you want to find a good deal, most of the time, it can't be a listing. So you have to look through these intelligence tools. And if this is how you're doing it, you're not going to find anything. So that's when I realized, when I was at this market research company, that's when I realized that somebody needs to build a proactive deal discovery. How do we build something that's looking for you, so you don't have to spend all this time?
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level, and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestoriinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson, and today I'm joined by Aaron, who's been making some serious moves in real estate now for the last 8 years. Aaron, welcome in, man. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm really excited to be here.
I'm pumped for it. I think our listeners are going to take away some value from what you're creating and how it services real estate investors, and particularly the fact that you have experience in the business doing it. So I'm excited to dig in there. So first off, for folks who may not be familiar with your world, give us a short version. What's your main focus these days and what markets you operating in?
So we're focused on helping investors find good deals easily. We want to build a system that people are going to use, that people are going to really depend on to find their next deal. And we're currently operating in the New York City market where, we got major requests to go into the rest of the country. But we like the New York City market to test our grounds because super data rich, a lot of different type of investor types, and many of these investors are what I call sharks. So they're brutally honest, and the more brutal, honest feedback we get, the better we get quickly. So
love that, man. They're pros. That's the thing about professional investors. They know their stuff, and they're with a good heart. They're willing to tell you about it. Like, hey, man, this just ain't cutting it. And that's where, some folks get offended in real estate with a little bit of thin skin, but it's not personal. It's literally business. It's not a mystery how this works. People have been doing it over 100 years. It's, can you actually deliver to that high level? So I love that that's your focus, man, that you're taking that on up front. I think that's what creates the best product. If you can expose it to solid, even harsh feedback up front, your chances of building something useful for the long term, which is what we're after anyways, man, that goes way up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So take me back. How'd you get to where you are today? What led you to wanting to solve this particular problem?
Absolutely. So 8 years ago, just going to give you a little bit of a storyline. My father runs a real estate business. He buys, different creative type of assets in Brooklyn and Upper Manhattan. And, at some point he wanted me to try to find more assets. So we use many different tools. In addition to that, he wanted to do some cross-border investing, down south in Florida as well. So we decided that we need to use intelligence tools like CoStar, Property Shark, so on and so forth. So I was on there all day, and I realized that the process in finding something that's useful took a little bit of time. Why? Because we have many different filters that we need to use. And if it's CoStar, they're already listings. And by the time I find something that's useful, it's already 2 months in, just one deal to look into. So that's where I realized the problem is. And after that, I went to go get my MBA in finance, and that's where I guess I got a good understanding on how to manage tech, right? It was a very tech focused MBA. And I realized that there's an opportunity to build a tech company there. I didn't know if it was this, but I realized there was an opportunity to build a tech company there. Went to go lead market research by a private lender.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Where I got access to more intelligence tools, and the thesis that I had from when I worked with my father was still there. The intelligence tools are just places that structure data, right? The way you're searching is reactive. I heard something from this guy. I saw this house. Let me see what's going on next door, and then going house by house. That's not efficient at all. If you want to find a good deal, most of the time, it can't be a listing. So you have to look through these intelligence tools. And if this is how you're doing it, you're not going to find anything. So that's when I realized, when I was at this market research company, that's when I realized that somebody needs to build a proactive deal discovery. How do we build something that's looking for you, so you don't have to spend all this time? Anyways, I put that in the back of my mind. About 8 months ago was when I decided to build it myself. And I said, I'm going to build something that people are going to use, people are going to depend on, and people are going to look towards to find their next deal, where I'm combining these massive amounts of data. We're looking through about 500 million data points a day, right? I'm combining that data with a really, really smart system that's looking through the data and trying to cherry pick the deals that make the most sense. And then at the same time, we add other mechanisms like scoring based on the points that it found, the parameters that it found, and then also the best strategy based on that. This is great for development, value add, so on and so forth. And that's currently where we are right now. We got astronomical amount of feedback, which is great. I told anyone that's using the product, you're using the product as much as you are paying pilots. Some of you are paying pilots. I want you to be brutally honest. And the feedback was very simple. We're giving curated silver platter type of properties that are ready for them to go. But every investor has their own unique strategy. So we're building a system that's going to allow every investor to talk to it from their own perspective. I think this is a great deal, right? Can you find me properties that fit this description? And we started this version 2. And what it's going to be able to do is it's going to give, where our total addressable market is about 10 million investors. It's going to give these 10 million people, again, assuming that we get them, but these 10 million people the ability to have 10 million variations, right, of strategies, of property types they're looking for. So that's where we are right now.
Man, I love that, because that second piece that you're adding is the critical piece. Real estate investing is extremely personality based. It has everything to do, like even the reason your dad buys the deals he buys, there's a reason he does that. And it's really based on him and his personal choice and what he wants to do. No matter the data it's based on, it's that first decision of, okay, that's what I actually like to do. So the fact that y'all are building a machine that can read those individual desires and then send them properties for possible investment based on that. Yeah, you're cutting out a ton of time there. Ton of time spent where you're trying to sift through things. And you said now y'all are taking it to the off market level, which every professional investor knows that's where the deals are. Like if you're trying to build an investment company, you're not going to do it just getting leads from the MLS. That's not the way it's going to work. There's not enough there. And if you want that company, you got to go off market. So can you dig into a little bit more with us on how y'all are, being able to generate those, get those in front of your customers?
Absolutely. It's a very, very good question. I'm happy you asked, because I happen to love this topic. There's 3 levels. Number 1, we have to see if the property is viable, right? If the property is viable, and the viability of a property is dependent on whether we find that there is a possibility to do something with this property, depending on the strategy. If we do, then we look for owner motivation, right? Owner motivation comes in many different forms. I guess the weakest form is how long they own the property. Was there refinance in a certain, we like to look over a 15-year period. If there was no refinance, then that's something that we start looking into, we add points to. And then there's more extreme cases like high distress, where it's a lis pendens, REO, or we're starting to look at involuntary liens as well, like tax liens and municipality liens, so on and so forth. But we want to make sure that you would be able to get this type of deal. So number one, we look at the asset is good. Does the asset make sense? Number two, is there a higher possibility for this owner to want to give you the property or want to sell you this property? And that's just a scale as to what type of motivation there is, right? And then number three is we like to see a different type of owner motivation, which I'm not sure many people really know about, which is very creative types. If a property is moved to an estate, right? And we find that the heirs live in different states, and we also see that there's code violations on this property, right? That is an ideal candidate to buy that property 100%. I would say 85% of the time, the heirs are going to want to sell off that asset, right? They don't care
Right.
about it. They live in different states, so on and so forth. So that's something that we're still working on how to do properly. But that's what we try to do. We try to pair the good assets with owner motivation so investors could actually get those assets off market.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I love that, man, because that's everything. It's all about motivation. And you named the one. Foreclosure and pre-foreclosure are the heaviest weight nationwide. Someone will sell at a discount. And then the other ones, they just kind of stack up back there that really show. Because in the end, if we can't buy it at a discount, it doesn't matter. And
There we go.
at least 95% of the deals nationwide, you can't buy at a discount. So we're all looking through these sections where, all right, where's the deal we can actually find? So the fact that you're upfront loading it with understanding what makes someone's true motivation, because you're right. You see a property in an estate, someone died. That's what's happened. Like, it didn't get there randomly. You know what they're going through. You can have that conversation with them, especially when they're in the different states. So I like how you're revealing. I really call it a treasure map for investors. That's what I used to say about data. And what you're talking about in essence is, what are the things that show this person's worth having a conversation with? Because if I can eliminate useless conversations and capitalize on useful conversations more, well, as an owner, now I'm just living in my activities that generate money. And that's where you need to be spending the majority of your time anyways, working on the business, not just in the business all the time.
That's a really great way to put it.
Yeah.
Really great way. Yeah.
And it's powerful, man. So what are you excited about for what's coming out? What's this? You've got about 250 users right now. You're building this product, getting that feedback. What's coming up for folks that they can be excited about for what you're releasing?
Absolutely. Like you were saying before, every investor has their own personality, right? They invest based on their own specific strategies that they developed. They might start with something that's more uniform, more objective, but then they develop their own subjective views because they see what works in their own way. What we're currently doing is we're creating an objective view. And most of the feedback we got was, I want to put in my own subjective strategies. I sat tens of hours with my beta users to try to understand how to do this properly and what they look for. And I realized subjective views come from their understanding of the legalities. How we're using zoning law, how we're pushing the gray line, Section 8s, right? There's people that invest in certain Section 8 style properties, right? I'll just give you an example. In Tampa, I have a guy who likes to look at the Tampa market as a district, right? There's certain districts, so Section 8 districts, right? And within those Section 8 districts, there's two different style neighborhoods, one with the higher market value and one with the lower market value. So he wants to find the Section 8 districts that have that difference in market values and go to the lower market value area because he could get a much better cap rate because it's getting the same rents as the higher market value one. So many different plays. And I was talking to my CTO. I said, we need to build this. This is not something that's a year down the line. This is now, right? I realize this is what Conin is. We might drop the intelligence side of things, but we need to have this agent now, right? So we started thinking about it. We said, this could actually be something that's very easy to build on our side because we have so much information from our users and so much information from the interviews that we know what to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a model that has three components to it. One is a deal finder model, one is a legal model, and then the other one is focused on kind of connecting the two and trying to help, help the two talk properly. And then giving that other one is also going to give the response to the query, whoever is querying a strategy. So what we're moving away from is the uniform objective, kind of deal finding to the more subjective kind of deal finding. Throw in whatever type of parameters you're looking for, any combination of data points, and even your own language. You're going to be able to speak in proper English. You don't have to talk in tech language, and it's going to know what you're looking for. So that's what we're moving towards. We're going to be hopefully live with that in a month and a half. Test that out in the New York City market before we launch the entire country in July.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I love that, man. Because again, it goes back to, if a tool's going to be useful for a real estate investor, it has to mold to their business, right? Like,
exactly.
As someone who has sold services to investors before, you're bolting onto a machine. If what you're bolting on requires them to change their machine a lot, you're never going to get there. Like it's just not what they need. So I love how much time you're spending in the details with investors. I think that's the thing that sets these kind of products apart, is the person behind it understands our industry. And if you're listening or watching out there and you're looking into tools and different AI solutions, take the time to research the behind the scenes on that product, because if the person that's building it doesn't understand real estate investing and isn't taking the time to, then you're going to land on these objective categories way more often than the subjective that you truly need to get those deals done. And I've seen it time and again. It just slows you down, where if you're having to take all this time to tell this tool to build something out, just start with people that understand it to begin with, right? You come from this. So you've not just 8 years ago understood real estate. You've grown up around it, man. Like this has been your life for a long time. How many times have you heard your dad just talking about it? You know what I mean? You absorb so much over time that, for me personally, that's definitely something I look for and folks I want to work with. How important and how handy has that been for you and useful to have that background coming into what you're building?
Very handy, because let's say owner motivation. If I didn't have an understanding in real estate, I wouldn't understand that that's probably the most important component to off-market deals, right? Anyone could learn properties, right? But the question is, how do you learn signals? How do I learn that there are owners that would be more willing to want to talk to you and sell to you over other owners? And that I only would have understood if it was with my father. So
Right.
so that's
Right. Good. Because you nailed it. Really, what that information's laying out is your conversation. If you look at it correctly, it's setting up the whole everything you're fixing to talk about on that call, if you know how to have that conversation. And again, that's bringing it back to that subjectivity that you're able to add now with when you can interact with it and say, I'm here in Tampa and I'm looking for pre-foreclosure properties in this section of this zip code, or however you're going to put it in, and it can pull it out and then give you that information on the customer. You're way ahead. If you're good at this, you're going to become a stone cold killer. And if you're just okay, you're going to get good, right? That's what lets you get set up. Is leads are the lifeblood of every real estate investment company. If you don't have a property to buy, well, everything else you built doesn't work. So getting those quality at bats It's everything. It's everything for you, for your team, for revenue, for all of it. Is how many more people can we get in front of that actually need to talk to us? Because if you're listening out there and you're not into real estate and you've gotten the phone calls about buying your home, we're not there to bug you. I promise you, that's the last thing I'm trying to do. I don't want this to be weird either. I just want to talk to people who need that I can solve their problem. Because done well, no matter the asset class, but especially in single family residential, when you buy that property well, even buying at a discount, the owner will thank you for solving their problem. They have no problems with how much money you've made off the deal when you know how to solve their problem. Because particularly pre-foreclosure, life's not going well. Life's hurting you. It's been hurting you for 90 days minimum here in Florida. It takes that long to even get a Liz Pendens filed. And now you got less than 90 days till you're losing your house. You're stressed. That's not easy. And you're also embarrassed, man. Like that, out of all the folks I've talked to, they don't like talking about what caused the pre-foreclosure. They don't understand. They don't like that. So when you know that up front and understand and can lean in and say, hey, I know this isn't easy to talk about simply because I understand the information, the data provided, and the knowing, okay, this could be a good deal. Confidence before the call to me is everything, right? You get a call or someone talking and you've talked to a bunch of people who don't want you all day. By the time you get to the one you want, man, your energy may be down. You might not be in the best place. So I'm all for high quality at bats. How do I get in front of the right person more often? That only raises your averages. And it's where you're doing it up front, right? Like, man.
Yeah, 100%.
So
you could either lose it to the bank or you could make money off
right,
it. That's the question.
right, exactly. I can save your credit. I can save you a lot of things. Like there's so much that can happen again, but you just got to be in the right mindset to get in there and have those calls. And the tools that you're developing are what do that. How can I know up front that the useful conversation I'm capable of having isn't going to be wasted? And boom, dig into it. So I love what you're working on, man. You've got the experience, you have the dedication, you have all the knowledge you need to build these tools, and you're regularly working with feedback from investors. So for folks listening in that want to learn more about what you have going on, take a look at your product, what's the best way for them to find you?
So they can find me on my LinkedIn. I'm going to drop the link to you. Or they could find me on my website. It's Conin, CONIN.io. They could also access the AI software through there. But if they want to go straight to the software, it's app.conin.io.
Excellent, man. Thanks for sharing. So if you're listening and watching in and you want to learn more from Aaron, see what he's got going on, check the show notes. We'll have all of his links there. Like I say each time in this show, follow professionals. Follow folks who have the background and the credibility to talk about what they're talking about, because there's a lot of noise in real estate. Work with folks who understand it. That's how we get that level of success that we're all after, right? None of us got in this game to lose.
Yeah.
Aaron, I appreciate your time today, man. Your story. Thank you for building what you're building. As someone that's in the industry, I think we need more tools like this, ways to help us grow our businesses more steady, more solid, more successful. So thanks for being with us today. If you're listening or watching in, thank you for being with us today. If you got value out of today's episode, please like this episode. Share it with someone else you think could get value out of it, who needs to learn about these tools. As always, please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We appreciate every single one of you that follows along out there with us. We have more conversations coming up with operators just like Aaron out there building a real business in the industry. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you all in the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.